Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 horror movies so bad they were pulled from theatres. For this list, we'll be ranking horror films that received severe backlash or disinterest at the time of their theatrical release, so much so that it impacted their box office runs. Some of these films went on to attain cult status, however. There needs to have been a negative critical or commercial consensus when these films hit the market. Feel like defending any of these movies? Join us in the comments.
Hey Mojoholics! For a chance to win cash prizes, play our live daily trivia challenges every day at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern only at WatchMojo.com/play.
Number 10, Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey. We'll start our list with a question. Is there such a thing as a sacred cow? Something that stands above parody or satire? Hong Kong may have thought so when it pulled the controversial 2023 film Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey from theatres.
Pooh, you need to help me, please. There's something wrong with Piglet. He just killed my wife, please.
The film's plot repurposes classic childhood characters from the 100 Acre Wood and positions them in a slasher movie. The reception to Pooh was largely poor from critics, with some laying out the film's failure at capitalising on its one-tone premise with story, humour or believable special effects. Hong Kong unceremoniously gave this silly old bear the hook, citing technical reasons, but we wouldn't be surprised if it went beyond that, considering Pooh's contentious history with China.
Can't stop. I know I caused you a lot of pain. Just let her go, please. I'll stay. Just take me instead, please.
Number 9, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Some movies do better in some countries than others. The 2021 Resident Evil reboot, subtitled Welcome to Raccoon City, performed decently at the United States box office, despite negative critical response. The situation was different in the United Kingdom, however, when the Odeon theatre chain refused to screen the film.
What's going on? Because, should we call someone?
Who are you gonna call? You're the police.
There seems to be two stories here, with Odeon claiming they couldn't come to a distribution agreement with Sony Pictures, while other conjecture surmises mixed test screenings impacted Odeon's decision.
This is my life's work. I'm not giving it to anybody. I'm not really offering you a choice here, pal.
Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City certainly didn't do boffo box office, but the film never even stood a chance of making any headway in the UK.
You got some weird friends.
Number 8, The Swarm.
Please listen very carefully. A swarm of killer bees is coming this way. I want every teacher and every student to close off whatever area you may be in at this very moment.
The 1970s were a halcyon era for big-budgeted and expansively cast disaster flicks. The Swarm was no exception, although this 1978 effort dared to bring a when animals attack sense of horror to the proceedings.
We'll come back later. We have to plan this just right, because these aren't just any old bees.
Today, The Swarm is largely seen as laughable in this regard, and the flick is mostly relegated to so bad it's good irony and meta-appreciation. However, The Swarm failed to rake in proper numbers against its budget, was panned by critics, and didn't last more than a fortnight before it was pulled from screens.
If we'd gone after the bees right at the beginning, instead of wasting time tooling up those science teams of yours, we wouldn't be in this damn mess.
Number 7, The Disappointments Room.
Dana, it sounds like you have a disappointments room.
Horror films are traditionally solid moneymakers, if they stay under budget.
Well, maybe we should talk about money.
Well, that's a little premature.
The Disappointments Room from 2016 wasn't only saddled with a nonsensical title, but also a $15 million price tag. This didn't add up when the movie only opened up to $1.4 million on opening weekend, before dropping down to less than $400,000 on week 2. The film was pulled from over 1,500 theatres to just 36, eclipsing Geely with regards to this historically sharp drop in screenings.
I'll leave this house. Something isn't right here.
The film didn't even have positive word of mouth going for it on rental and VOD, as the Disappointments Room title is largely considered to be something of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Number 6, Cabin Fever.
I gave up 2 weeks in Belize for this.
Oh, come on. You're gonna like it. The cabin's gonna be great. You're gonna love it.
Eli Roth's 2002 feature Cabin Fever is largely considered to be among his best. It's certainly one of the most successful, having raked in over $30 million at the box office against a $1.5 million budget. The remake from 2016, however, not so much.
Don't drink the water! It's in the water!
The film admittedly was released to limited theatres during its modest original run, and was actually pulled from theatres in the UK and Argentina after barely 2 weeks.
Fenster, get in there, call the sheriff, tell him we're having big problems up at that cabin.
Cabin Fever 2016 has received grief from both horror fans and critics alike, with many claiming that the remake was simply extraneous to need. Number 5, The Watcher in the Woods.
Did you hurt yourself?
Oh, it's just a little cut. I thought I saw something out there in the woods.
There's plenty of retroactive goodwill to be had with a lot of Disney's PG-rated experiments from the 1980s. Return to Oz, The Black Cauldron, Midnight Madness, and Tron are all great examples of this experiment working in spades. The Watcher in the Woods is too, but it only took a long time to reach that point. That's because this Disney horror film was considered a colossal gaffe back in 1980, with its opening run at New York's Ziegfeld Theatre cut short after only 10 days.
Mom said she'd only be a minute.
Yeah, that means 10.
The public's negative response actually predicated Disney's reshooting the ending, although by then it was too little too late. It wouldn't be until television reruns and home video that The Watcher in the Woods would be reappraised.
She had to push it down to get you loose from the branch. She saved your life.
Number 4, A Cure for Wellness.
Do you know what the cure for the human condition is? Disease. Because only then is there hope for a cure.
There was a lot of hype prior to the release of A Cure for Wellness in 2016. From viral marketing campaigns to a quirky Super Bowl ad, Fox was gearing up for what they hoped would be the next big horror shocker. And there are those, like the person writing this video, who absolutely loved A Cure for Wellness. However, the critical response to director Gore Verbinski's film was mixed at best, and A Cure for Wellness bombed financially.
Your father saw the truth long before the rest of us. The pointlessness of the entire endeavor.
The film's revenue dropped so dramatically that A Cure for Wellness was cut from 2,704 to 88 theatres after its second weekend, a record-breaking number. It just wasn't the sort of record Verbinski likely wanted on his resume.
Actually, I was just leaving.
No one ever leaves.
What are you talking about?
Why would anyone want to?
Number 3, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Punish!
It's perhaps one of the most infamous examples of the Streisand effect in horror movie history.
Did you hear something?
I don't hear anything, Mr. Sims. Must have been your imagination.
The release of Silent Night, Deadly Night in 1984 could have been an otherwise innocuous addition to the holiday-themed series of slashers. However, Yuletide defenders rallied hard against the film's depiction of a killer dressed up as St. Nicholas, to the point where Silent Night, Deadly Night lost its advertising and theatre screenings as a result of the negative publicity. All this did, however, was make people want to see it more, to the point where Silent Night, Deadly Night more than tripled in production budget, and received multiple sequels. Good job, protesters.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
Number 2, I Spit on Your Grave. It's one of the UK's video nasties, a censored and banned film with a complicated history.
I hate you! I hate you!
I Spit on Your Grave was originally titled Day of the Woman, doing a modest run at drive-ins until a retitling and redistribution gained the film worldwide infamy.
Don't yell at me, Stanley. I don't like it when people yell at me for no reason at all.
The plot of a woman being repeatedly assaulted and getting her bloody revenge may have resulted in a modern-era series of remakes and sequels, but the original I Spit on Your Grave failed at this wider box office. It was also reportedly yanked from a Chicago theatre a week after release, and critically lambasted by Siskel and Ebert. Today, however, I Spit on Your Grave exists as a cult classic, and to some, a misunderstood, if graphic, allegory for feminism.
Suck it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Alone in the Dark.
Better get out of here. Come on.
Uwe Boll is a maverick filmmaker with his own way of doing things, and he doesn't care what the critics say about his films. However, this adversarial relationship didn't stop his 2005 film adaptation of the Alone in the Dark video game from failing at the box office.
We've been trying to stop something they created the whole time. My guys are dying out there for nothing.
The film is a consistent part of the conversation when it comes to worst films ever made, and Alone in the Dark only made $12 million theatrically on a $20 million budget. Boll's film only lasted 3 weeks in the theatre. We see a trend here. Although home video markets were more kind to Boll's creative vision.
But like the Abkhani discovered, there's a price to pay for bringing darkness into the light.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.